I suppose that very few casual readers of the New York Herald of August 13th observed, in an obscure corner among the deaths, the announcement: Nolan died on board U.S. corvette Levant, latitude 2 degrees south, longitude 131 degrees west, on the 11th day of May, Philip Nolan. I happened to observe it because I was stranded at the old mission house in Mackinac, waiting for a Lake Superior steamer, which did not choose to come, and I was devouring every section of the paper, even down to the deaths and marriages. I had reason enough to remember Philip Nolan, but there are hundreds of other readers who would have paused at that announcement if it had been reported, died May 11th, the man without a country. For that is how he had been known by the officers and men he had sailed with for the past 50 years. There can now be no possible harm in telling this poor creature's story, though to the press it has been wholly unknown, and I think to the public at large also. Whether it was policy among the officers that had him in charge to keep Nolan's story a secret, or whether all records of his case were lost when Ross burned down the public buildings in Washington, I do not know. But this I do know, that since 1817, and possibly before, no naval officer has mentioned Nolan in his report of a cruise. But, as I say, there can be no need for secrecy any longer. And now the poor creature is dead. It seems to me worthwhile to tell a little of his story. Philip Nolan was as fine a young officer as there was in the Western Division of our Army. Among his military associations, he was especially fascinated with Aaron Burr, who was making secret plans to organize his own monarchy. He met Burr at Fort Massac when Burr made his first dashing expedition down to New Orleans in 1805.
I shall make you my wife.
You shall have to walk me to the apple tree first, and only one of us will come back.
You men act like children. There are enough for us to go around. Yes, Emery. You take the blindfold, and we shall find you a girl to make Martha jealous.
Come, Mr. Nolan. We have more important things to discuss than who gets the girl.
Tom, let's go back to the game. Yes, let's go play.
We should ask ourselves, who gets the nation?
The nation?
Mr. Nolan, let me awaken your dormant ambition. Let me excite your imagination. This is a marvelous continent we inhabit. Millions of acres of vast, unexplored wilderness. A veritable paradise. Just waiting to be claimed or tamed. I see only one pity concerning it.
Well, what is that, Your Excellency?
A few ill-chosen men in a distant city have control over it. But no vision concerning it.
You mean President Jefferson and the men in Richmond?
President Jefferson. You say it so easily. You and the rest of the uninformed populace. You fail to realize that you could just as easily be saying, President Burr. 35 times they called for the ballot from the House of Representatives. And on the 36th, it became Vice President Burr and President Thomas Jefferson.
And you think that perhaps...
What else am I to think, Mr. Nolan? Why, after a 73 to 73 tie in the Electoral College and a deadlock vote for 35 ballots in the House, why, after all of that, was I suddenly defeated by a state vote of 10 to 4?
I really couldn't say, Mr. Burr. I grew up in the West, hardly even a part of the politics of the United States.
And it's men like you, untainted by the innermost workings of politics, who should be rallied to America's side freer of those who come to power behind closed doors. No. For 4 years I have watched him lower the office of president to the level of a common man. I saw him purchase Louisiana like a common merchant from Napoleon instead of conquering it like a monarch. And now that he's been elected for another 4 years, we might as well bid adieu to Mexico and the West, for the Spanish will not be as foolish as the French.
You mean the United States may never own the whole continent?
No. But the continent can own the United States.
What do you mean?
With strong leadership and unswerving exhibitions of valor, Mexico and the West can be conquered and forged into a hammer that can crush the 14 smug states who dangle their political feet in the Atlantic, afraid to venture further into the wilderness and to the West.
You will be that leader, Excellency. The hammer of a nation will be in your hands.
Oh, that it were noted. I would make you, and those like you, aristocrats whose fondest dreams of wealth and power would come to fruition.
There are many like me, Mr. Burr, just waiting for leadership and opportunity.
It will come, Nolan. It will come.
Mr. Burr, shame on you. First you leave us ladies to take this young man on a 2-day voyage on your flatboat. Then you leave the front of the party to talk politics with him. Why, don't you know you're the candle flame about which all of us fly?
You sound like a Washington politician, seeking votes.
Why, I never.
But I will give in to your flattering lips and return to your party.
Mr. Burr.
Come, Nolan. The country's waited this long for us to save it. This can wait one more evening.
Especially one reading which will yield such fond memories.
Hey, Nolan! Nolan, how about joining us for a game of sledge, huh?
I have more important things to do than playing games.
Like writing letters to Aaron Burr.
Oh, yes, the next monarch president of the American continent.
Scoff all you wish. Mr. Burr's political ideas are a force with which to reckon.
I'm sure.
And he has made you his confidant?
He has. Me and, others like me.
Then why does he never answer your letters? You've been writing him nearly a year now, and the only letters you receive are from your brother in Texas.
Aaron Burr is a very important man.
Indeed.
He's a former attorney general, a former senator, a former vice president.
Oh, yes, and remember, a former murderer.
A lie! He shot Alexander Hamilton in a fair duel of honor.
And who was more honorable? Hamilton, who deliberately fired into the air, or Burr, who deliberately shot and killed one of America's finest statesmen?
Say what you will. Mr. Burr is a patriot of the highest order, the kind of leader this country needs. Why? Even the Weekly Argus tells of his weekly escapades. They say he is coming down the river now with an army behind him and an empire before him. Rumors? Perhaps. But I believe it. And if you knew Mr. Burr, as I know him,
Sure you know him perfectly.
you would believe them too.
Hey, Nolan, you were wrong.
About what?
Well, you said you had more important things to do than playing games. But yet you're playing one of the oldest games of all. The game of self-deception. Aaron Burr does not even know you exist.
Lieutenant Colonel, no!
Yes?
Lieutenant Colonel Aaron Burr has arrived at the fort. We would like to see you at 10 o'clock this evening in his quarters next to the parade ground.
You may tell, Mr. Burr, I shall be there.
Sir,
Oh, one more thing. Deliver this to, Mr. Burr. It will save me the postage.
sir.
So, Mr. Burr does not even know I exist. Continue your games, gentlemen. I have an appointment at 10 and I must polish my boots.
That evening, Burr asked Nolan to take him out in his skiff to show him a cave or a cottonwood tree, as he said, really to seduce him. And by the time his sail was over, Nolan was enlisted, body and soul. What Burr intended to do, no one really knows. But when Thomas Jefferson ordered him to Richmond to stand trial for treason, the army followed suit with every officer who had any association with Burr. At Fort Adams, too, the treason trials took place. One and another colonels and majors was tried, and to fill out the list,
Lieutenant Philip Nolan.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Lieutenant Nolan, how well did you know Harmon Blennerhassett?
Only slightly.
Is it not true that you were seen at his mansion on 3 separate occasions with Aaron Burr?
I was.
And what was discussed at these meetings between Mr. Burr and Mr. Blennerhassett?
I don't know. Mr. Blennerhassett is a very important man. He's a man of wealth and an art connoisseur. And Mr. Burr is a man of culture and refinement. They had much in common.
Such as the establishment of an empire in the West, independent of the United States?
I don't know.
You don't know. For a man so closely associated with Mr. Burr, you seem conveniently ignorant of his activities. Are you ignorant of the fact that Mr. Burr was raising an army to establish himself monarch in the West? Are you also ignorant of the fact that Mr. Blennerhassett, with his vast fortune, purchased for Mr. Burr arms, ammunitions, boats, and provisions for his schemes?
Aaron Burr is a patriot of the highest order.
Aaron Burr desires to stifle the democracy your country loves. But it is not Mr. Burr who is today on trial. It is you. You have admitted that you are sick of the service, have been willing to be false to it, and would obey any order to march anywhere with anyone who would follow you. If the order were signed by command of His Excellency Aaron Burr. Now, Mr. Nolan, do you wish to say anything to prove that you have always been faithful to the United States?
Curse the United States! I wish I may never hear of the United States again!
What? Oh, Nolan, you return to your post. Colonel Morgan, sir. Return to your seat. Nolan, Lieutenant Nolan is upset. I request that his outburst be disregarded in passing of sentence.
I am not upset.
I would request it. I beg you. Request denied! There will be a 5-minute recess as the officers of this court consider their verdict. No, do you not realize what you have done? Most of the officers of this court served during the Revolution. They risked their lives, if not their necks, for the very idea you just cursed in your manner.
They're trying to make me a scapegoat to impress Richmond with their hatred for treason.
Even a scapegoat would have more of a chance than you will, unless you throw yourself at the mercy of the court. You could not have made the blood in Colonel Morgan's veins run any harder if you compared George Washington to Benedict Arnold, or cried out, "God save King George!"
Be that as it may, I will not salt my words now like a craven.
Not a craven, Nolan. A wise man who in a frenzy uttered a foolish oath.
Colonel Morgan,
Prisoner.
sir,
Rise and hear the sentence of the court.
The court decides, subject to the approval of the President, that you may never hear of the United States again. Mr. Marshal, take the prisoner to Orleans in an armed boat and deliver him to the naval commander there. You are to see that no one mentions the United States to the prisoner. You will make my respects to Lieutenant Mitchell at Orleans and request that he order that no one shall mention the United States to the prisoner while he is on board ship. You will receive your written orders from the officers here on duty this evening. This court is adjourned without delay.
You will receive from Lieutenant Neal the person of Philip Nolan, late lieutenant in the United States Army. This person, on his trial by court-martial, expressed with an oath the wish that he might never hear of the United States again. The court sentenced him to have his wish fulfilled. You will take the prisoner on board your ship and leave him there with such precautions as shall prevent his escape. You will provide him with such quarters, rations, and clothing and would be proper for an officer of his late rank. He is to be exposed to no indignity of any kind, nor is he ever unnecessarily to be reminded that he is a prisoner. But under no circumstances is he ever to hear of his country or to see any information regarding it. And you will specially caution all the officers under your command to take care that this rule, in which his punishment is involved, shall not be broken. Before the end of your cruise, you will receive orders which will affect his transfer. Respectfully yours, W. Southard, for the Secretary of the Navy.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Nolan. Lieutenant Neal will show you to your quarters.
Yes, sir.
Catherine, will you please hurry? We'll be late for the meeting. Who's that girl? Catherine!
I'm coming, Emily. I just had to get my box of Cheerios.
After you curled your hair, pinched your cheeks red, and stuffed your petticoats, then you began looking for your box of Cheerios.
Oh, Emily, don't be hard on me. I just have to win this time.
Well, I hope this time you do win. But I think it's a little unfair if you keep your contribution a secret.
Yes, my contribution to the Young Winners Society of New Orleans.
Young winners indeed. Not one of their husbands is dead, and some of them are not even married.
That's why they envy you and me, Emily. We are married.
But we may as well not be.
What do you mean?
My sweet Colin, your brave Charles were called up to the army just 2 weeks after our double wedding.
Yes, and I can't believe we haven't seen them in 7 months.
And thus the formation of the Young Winners Society, where for lone wives and girlfriends of military men can meet, share stories, letters, gifts, laughter, and lamentations for their lovers.
Your carriage is ready, ma'am.
To the Brenton Manor, James, and don't spare the horses.
Yes, ma'am.
Emily, how do I look?
Oh, just fine, dear. Just pinch your cheeks. So you don't look like a real widow. Oh.
Horatio, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach with me.
Feeling out of sight for the ends of being, and ideal grace.
But how would Michael wrote to me?
Because he copied it from a published poem by Browning.
Elizabeth Mary Browning,
Written to a husband.
well, I
Never mind, Patricia. It's the thought that counts. Yes, Gertrude. I haven't heard from my Richard at all. Well, is he what? Is he your Richard? Well, they're not engaged. If that's what you mean.
Well, I would like to see you like catch relationship from her curio box.
So would I.
You mean you don't know? No, but she's your sister.
I know, but some things are just not shared.
Oh.
Well, Catherine, with that little introduction, we are anxious to hear what you have to share.
Well, I have some special things that Charles has sent to me. As you know, he is on board the USS Corvette Levant off the coast of South America. And he has sent to me 3 things. A map of Texas. An envelope full of articles from the South American newspapers. And a small box full of gold buttons.
Curious.
Can I see the buttons? May I see the articles from the newspapers?
Oh, and look at the map of Texas.
Look, like it was cut out of the world aspects.
But Catherine, what does it all mean? Well, Charles's letter will explain everything.
Oh, okay.
I'll read part of it and I'll let each of y'all read a part. He says, I love you and my country more now than I ever have as a result of this voyage. It has been my sad fate to meet Philip Nolan, the man without a country, the man who at his trial court-martial expressed with an oath the wish that he might never hear the name of the United States again. The court sentenced him to have his wish fulfilled.
In 1805, he was placed on board a ship, and ever since then he has been transferred from ship to ship, never to come back to the United States, never to be allowed to read anything about it, nor have anyone talk to him about it.
Thank you.
It has been my unhappy duty during the last month to censor Nolan's books and other reading materials, since he knows Portuguese, and all articles about the United States, which appear in the South American papers, must also be cut out before Nolan reads them. That's sad. Since I love you and miss you terribly, the thing I wish most to talk about is you, and coupled with you, home, family, and friends. Inevitably, such conversations include references to America and what has happened back home. So when Nolan is around, all such talk must be eliminated.
Why? Just yesterday, I received your letter and gift for my birthday. All my friends were excited and gathered in the mess hall for a small celebration. Nolan joined us since I had been assigned to monitor his activities, and he seemed happy to be included until I opened your box and pulled out the beautifully bound volumes of Democracy in America by Alexis de Tocqueville. Everyone fell silent, including Nolan. And so
to replace the army buttons with plain ones, for the reason that they bore the insignia or initials of the United States.
Oh, well, go on and read. What else does he say?
He says, I think the captain feels that the Cyberman's punishment does us all good, but I think it ruins every happy occasion, cramps conversation about home and friends. I feel sorry for Nolan, too, because he is a smart man and knows what everyone is thinking and feeling about him. And yet, he is always kind and gracious and tries to relieve everyone's pressure with lively conversation about almost any subject, except America.
What's the man's name? Philip Nolan. I know the name, but I do not know from where.
Anyway, the poor devil got what he asked for.
Sure did. And you, Catherine? It's the Young Widows Award. Lawrence!
Yes, Gertrude.
I haven't heard from my Richard at all!
Yes, please. Again. Sorry.
Lawrence, you and the rest of you widows ready to eat?
Yes!
Yes!
Yes, Bertie. I believe we all could use a little something. I love that, Bertie.
Oh, and what you want me to do with all these love letters from Richard? Richard, you know.
Richard?
Mm-hmm.
Richard? My Richard?
No.
No! Give it back!
And so the ambassador of France stood there at the door with his mouth wide open, looking at Tom Jefferson in his nightshirt and riding boots. Well, he mistook the president for some sleepy-headed servant, and so he said, Monsieur, I am the ambassador de France, s'il vous plaît. Announce my presence. S'il vous plaît.
What did Jefferson say?
He said, I'm pleased to meet you, Jacques. I'm the president. S'il vous plaît.
Speaking of the French, what do you hear from New Orleans, you Grange?
Oh, yes, the Grange. Do you still hear from that French Indian girl?
Yes, I still hear from her. And she is not married. But she does not bring good news. Sorry, Grange. No. It's the French landholders out in Louisiana. They've been causing trouble again. They resent that Napoleon sold the territory to the United States.
After all this time?
Yeah, well, they've always resented it. Now they're starting to band together and do something about it. They're afraid that Jefferson's going to abolish slavery so that...
So they what?
So they are trying to change things around so that the food will be hotter for the evening mess.
Evening mess.
What does that have to do with the United
Oh,
States?
give me the
Sir. Good evening, gentlemen. Sorry I'm late. I was reading. Didn't hear the whistle. For evening mess. It is your turn to have it for evening mess, is it not?
Well, we don't remember, but you're welcome to join us, whether or not.
Yes. Please.
right, Mr. Nolan. We were just... Please continue your conversation, gentlemen. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, it was nothing important. Just talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talk. Nobody needs to talk.
Beans are good tonight.
Bacon and good beef. The coffee too.
Oh, it heads all the way from Louisiana. It comes from Louise, the best cook the Navy could muster.
To Louise!
Yes, Collins. What can I do for you? I respectfully request to be taken off the censorship committee that goes over Nolan's book and other reading material, sir.
And why do you make such a request, Collins?
If you'll pardon my saying so, sir, it's plain cruelty. The man has an insatiable appetite for reading, and has taught himself many things through his books. But I have seen him when he had been reading some foreign paper, and right in the midst of one of Napoleon's battles, one of Canning's speeches, he finds a big hole, because on the backside of that paper there had been an advertisement for a packet from New York, or a scrap from the president's message.
It is not yours to judge the cruelty of Mr. Nolan's punishment, Collins. It is only yours to obey orders.
Yes, sir.
However, I will relieve you from the committee for a few weeks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Dismissed!
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nolan, you're an excellent reader. Come, please, come and join us.
Yes.
I just came on deck for some fresh air, another look at the Indian Ocean. What are you reading?
The Lay of the Last Minstrel by Sir Walter Scott. It's poetry.
Well, I don't think that, are there any
Mr. Nolan,
references?
it's English. Phillips here borrowed a lot of them from one of the English officers a few days ago when we touched the Cape of Good Hope.
It's my turn to read, but I'd rather let you have my turn since you read much better than any of us.
Yes, please, come, Mr. Nolan. Very well. Where did you,
We left off right there, the end of the 5th canto.
Here we are. Breathes there the man with soul so dead, who never to himself hath said, this is my own, my native land. Whose heart hath ne'er within him burned as home. His footsteps he hath turned from walking on a foreign strand. If such there be, go, mark him well. For him no minstrel raptures swell. High though his titles, proud his name, boundless his wealth as wish can claim. Despite these titles, power and pelf, the wretch concentred all in self.
He did not come out of his stateroom for 2 months. And Phillips had to make some beggarly story to that English surgeon as to why he did not return his Walter Scott to him. Nolan was never the same man again, or he never went aloud again, unless it was the Bible or Shakespeare or something else he was sure of. He was always shy afterward too, and very seldom spoke, unless he was spoken to. Oh, he lightened up occasionally, but generally he had the nervous, tired look of a heart-wounded man. When Captain Shaw was returning home, much to the surprise of everyone, they made one of the Windward Islands and lay off and on for nearly a week.
Sir, we've been here almost a week, and the men can tell by the sky that we were on our way home, and are wondering why we are laying off here. If I had wanted to tell them, I would have already done so. Yes, sir. If they need an answer, tell them that the officers are tired of soldier and wish to have some turtle soup before they go home. Aye, sir. I know
Chief Gunnoff is what bow, sir? We think it's the war.
The war? Wait a moment, Mr. Mate. Sir. You can give a different answer to the men. Tell Mr. Nolan that I wish to see him at once. Yes, sir. Let me have your glass. It's the warrant, all right. Go up and see. Sure. There she is. Doing 12 knots or more. Moving like a white swan across the water. She'll be here in less than half an hour.
Sir?
Yes, prepare to signal that ship. Ask her name and where she's bound.
All right, sir.
All right, Cates, ask her. It's the Warren, and she's outward bound, heading for the Mediterranean. Good. Tell them that we have a prisoner to transfer by order of the Secretary of the Navy.
Wish to see me, sir?
Mr. Nolan, just a moment. I'll be right with you. They acknowledge and will come alongside. Excellent! Mr. Nolan, gather your belongings and prepare to transfer to the ward. It has been a pleasure having you aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Tell the men that we're going home.
We're going home, boys! We're going home!
Oh, Elizabeth, that is the third time you've endeavored to count my ribs with your left elbow.
I'm sorry, Aunt Matilda. I was just viewing my hair and dress from the rear.
Oh, yes, and I dare say they look the same as they did the other 2 times you poked me.
Well, I am sorry, Aunt Matilda. It's just that this dressing room was not made for 3 English ladies. Get out of it. Stop it.
Well, it would be big enough if you were not so excited about going to that party on board the Warwick.
Oh, and what of you, dear Naomi? You've been plucking your brow for the last hour.
Yes, and you've been painting them back on for some reason.
I saw no such beautification when we were invited aboard the British ship.
Good point,
Yes, but the American women all pluck their brows.
What? Give that to me.
No, I don't.
Girls! And since when did English women start following the fads set by American women?
Oh, since they were invited to a lavish party on board an American vessel.
And had the chance to capture an American officer as a husband.
Oh, such talk! Now, why would anyone want to court an American rebel when there are loyal Englishmen to be courted and wedded?
Oh, I don't know. There's something intriguing about them.
What?
In a very plain sort of way, of course.
Yes, I should think so.
By them, I suppose, in a way, for cutting their ties with the crown and building a brave new country out of savage wilderness.
Oh, my goodness, girls, well, you shan't find me courting rebels. Oh, no. Why, your uncle, he would... Oh, my. Your uncle, girls, he would turn over in his grave. Oh, I need some air. Yes, open the door. I need to sit down. My nerves. You girls can understand my nerves. Oh, I can't take the fuss. You're crowding.
It's for you.
Oh! It's a box!
Oh, no, there must be some mistake. Take it away.
Can't you see, look, it says right there, it's for you. Open it.
See what this is here. I'm sure it's a stick.
Oh,
Flowers! From whom? Gracious girls, I just need peace. This is from the captain of... This is from the captain of Warren. The captain! But it was a
And now, hand me those tweezers.
Jesus!
Oh, well, he was Shipman Russell when I met him.
I still say we should see Naples tonight instead of going to this party.
Now, Harry, dear, what does the ancient city of Naples have that we couldn't see in, well, Georgia or Virginia?
Oh, well, history, art, architecture, opera.
But just think of those poor boys on board the Warren, thousands of miles away from home, floating in the Bay of Naples. Why, they haven't seen an American girl for months.
That is what bothers me. While you were single, I didn't mind you drilling on your charm with the other men. At least then. Couldn't do anything about it. Oh, but now, I'll tell you what, smack you one.
There you go. It's jealous again. Why, you have nothing to worry about.
Oh, hogwash. I'll say the truth, I've never heard my...
Why, well, you should be proud to be seen with me at these festive affairs. After all, I was known as the celebrated Southern Beauty before we were married.
You still are you. I just don't like everybody else celebrating you.
Well, I promise to be good.
And?
And tell everyone I'm married.
You won't have to. They'll know in 5 minutes after I arrive. Come on, let's get up.
My dear Adele, you must believe me. This is a very ship that he is on. I am sorry, Blanche, dear, that Captain Russell and I have been good friends for years, and I'm sure if he reported the ship, I would have been the first to know about it. Well, perhaps you don't know the captain as well as you think, or perhaps you have faulty information. What? My dear Adele, I have an unverified authority that the man without country is on this very ship. Of course, I've never seen the man in my life, nor would I ever want to lay eyes on that traitor.
Hey, is that not Philip Nolan?
My dear, would you please have good about you? Your outbursts are getting to be rather embarrassing. No matter what, one mustn't allow oneself to lose one's poise.
No, it's Philip Nolan and Captain Russell.
Wow! Oh, that's quickly my spelling insults! I think I'm in faint! Oh, yes! Great poise! Oh, no, they're coming this way! Let's go get to Bedlam Lock! A Bedlam Lock! I thought you were the one who said you never wanted to lay eyes on the traitor. Yes, and you were the one who said you knew the captain. True. Let's go get the Bedlam Lock!
Mr. Nolan, you'll have to excuse me as I partake in a minuet sometime soon. I suggest you do the same and find yourself a part.
You children have fun now, yes.
at me, Miss Rutledge. Mr. Nolan, I don't think. Shall I have the honor of dancing?
Why, I'm not Miss Rutledge any longer, Mr. Nolan.
Well, that's right.
I am Mrs. Graham. But I will dance all the same.
What? You? Every. Imagined you've traveled widely since we last talked.
Yes, Father's shipping concerns take him all over Europe. And this is my big trip abroad. And of course, Harry has now taken over many of the responsibilities of the business.
Do you like Europe?
Oh, it will do. But, of course, I would rather be home.
What of Italy and Naples?
I enjoy the art treasures and the old buildings.
Have you seen Vesuvius?
Yes, twice.
What'd you hear from home, Mrs. Graff?
Oh, Mr. Nolan, I thought you were the man to get home again.
Please, everyone continue. Yes, please, everyone continue. Yes.
No, never danced. Again. A happier story than either of these I have told is of the war. That came along soon after. Which ship it was, I cannot tell. However, in one of the great frigate duels with the English, the Navy was really baptized. It happened that a round shot from the enemy entered one of our ports square and took down the officer of the gun itself and several of the gun's crew. The gun deck became a mass of confusion. Bloody bodies strewn everywhere, men struggling to stagger away, others trying to continue firing. When suddenly, Nolan appeared in his shirt sleeves with a rammer in his hand to man the cannon himself.
Stand right, mates, let me have that. You went into the cockpit, remain there with me. Do as I tell you quickly. You, get up here and help me get this gun its voice back. We must do some fast talking to the British. What should we do? Do what he says, boys. Do what he says. Make it right. Ship is laying down a throat, so she'll spin a long way. Now let's get her lined up for the main mast. All right, a little to the left for the wind. Ready, mates? Fire! We struck her main mast! Look! It's crashing down! Beginning, mates! These linemen wish they never started this skirmish! Sit down, swab her out! Move, mates! We can't, sir! She's too high! Nonsense, man! You never wash these hands anyway! Use the cannon to burn off the filth! That floating hogshead is too low mast and must come down! This time, we'll even plan the way she falls! Ready? Fire! You struck her again! She'll fall toward the bow and hit the captain square on the head. She's falling towards the bow now! I do this in the artillery, sir.
I see that. And I thank you, Mr. Nolan. I shall never forget this day, and you never shall either. Carry on, Mr. Nolan. Another shot at your last suit, and that British figure will strike colors!
All right, she's cool enough now. Let's make her
Where's Mr. Nolan? You! Go find Mr. Nolan and ask him to come here. Attention on deck! We are all very grateful to you today, Mr. Nolan. Today you are one of us. You will be named in the dispatch to headquarters. Put it on.
But sir,
That's order. Mr. Nolan.
not worn a sword since I was in Fort Adams.
Always afterward, on occasions of ceremony, Nolan wore that old sword, the captain's. The captain did mention him in the dispatch, and even wrote a special letter to the Secretary of War, asking if he might be pardoned. But nothing ever came. All that was near 50 years ago. If Nolan was 30, then he must have been near 80 when he died. He looked 60 when he was 40. But he never seemed to change a hair afterwards. My own acquaintance with Philip Nolan began 6 or 8 years after the war, on my first voyage after I was appointed midshipman. It was the first days of our slave trade treaty, and we were in the South Atlantic to suppress the ugly business.
She's raising her white flag. But keep your guns trained on her all the same. And if she fires a single shot, blow her out of the water. You'll be baptized today, my friend. Baptized in filth.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Cullen, you tell him. And prepare to lower a boat. Mr. Nolan.
Yes, sir.
Joining us.
Yes, sir.
slave schooner. It's been out on the high seas for probably 2 months. Poor black devils have been huddled together in the hold of that ship all that time, with no means of sanitation. Very little food, water, fresh air. Some of them have no doubt died and are still down there, chained with the others. They must all be free. You mean that That's what the captain means for you to take charge of going down to that hold and hacking all those wretches loose. Is that what the captain meant by a baptism in filth? You'll probably lose what you had for breakfast, and we'll need to come up for air every 10 minutes or so. Miller, prepare a lower boat.
Sir.
So you better get ready for it. Look at it this way. The captain likes you and wants to make you a good officer. Good and tough. Yeah, I'd just as soon stay a midshipman. Wouldn't we all? Come on, boys, let's go.
This one says she left her family sick and went for a white doctor, and these slave traders caught her, and she hasn't heard a word from home since. And he says he has not heard a word from home in more than 6 months. Well, he's been locked up an infernal barracoon.
Tell them yes. Yes! If we must go to the mountains of the moon, we will. If I must sail this schooner across the great white desert, they shall go home.
Sí, sí. Mesmo que debemos navegar este barco a las montañas de la lua, se vamos. Mesmo que debemos navegar este barco otra vez de grandes de Sergio Branco para casa.
Let's get these people home.
I'm sorry, sir.
Youngster, let that show you what it is to be without home, without a family, without country. If you ever tempted to say or do anything that should put a barrier between you and any of these, pray God in His mercy take you home that instant to His own heaven. Think about your family, boy. Let me nearer your thoughts. Father, you must travel from it. And when you're free, rush back to it, as those black slaves are doing now. For your country. Never dream but of serving her as she bids you. No matter who flatters you or abuses you, never look at another flag. Remember, behind all these men, the officers and the government, there is the country herself. And that you belong to her, as you do to your own mother. Stand by her, boy. Stand by her. Oh, if only someone had said so to me when I was your age.
After that, Nolan and I became close friends and spent a good deal of time together. And in later years, I was given command of the George Washington Corvette and had Nolan in charge of the South American station. We were at mess one evening, and Nolan was in an unusually bright and talkative mood. Some of the officers were telling of riding some half-wild horses in Buenos Aires, and this got Nolan started on stories of his own when he was catching wild horses in Texas with his brother, Stephen. And quite unconsciously, he said, "Pray, what has become of Texas? It is really one of the finest regions on earth, but I have not seen or heard a word of Texas in near 20 years. The others at the table looked as if they'd been shot, couldn't say a word. After a long, tense silence, I broke the Navy's rules. I said, you can cut Texas out of your atlas, Mr. Nolan. Shortly after reading Nolan's death, I received a letter from my good friend Danforth, who was on the spot when Nolan died.
Dear friend, I try to find heart in life to tell you that it is all over with dear old Nolan. I have been with him on this voyage more than I ever was, and I can understand fully now the way you used to speak of the old fellow. I could see that he was not strong, but I had no idea the end was so near. The doctor had been watching him very carefully, and yesterday morning came to me and told me that Nolan was not well, that he had not left his stateroom, and that he would like to see me.
Mr. Nolan? Oh. Danforth. Come in. Come in. Have a seat. Well, Danforth, does my room match all the stories you have heard about it?
Some of them, but not all of them. You've made it into a shrine.
Yes. Shrine to America. That is my favorite and only picture of Washington. And behind you there is the American eagle. Noble bird.
Yes, sir. Did you paint it yourself?
Oh, yes. Yes. And over there, you see, I have a country. I drew that map from memory and labeled all the territories. I've patched in Texas, as I guessed by the number of stars on the ship's mast that Texas must have been annexed by now. Okay. And fourth, I know I'm dying. I cannot get home. Surely you can tell me something now.
Mr. Nolan,
Wait, stop. Do not speak until I say what I'm sure you must already know. There is not on this ship nor in America a more loyal man than I. Cannot be a man who loves the old flag as I do, or prays for it as I do. Oh, Danforth, how like a wretched night's dream a boy's idea of fame seems when I look back on it. Surely you can tell me something now. Anything? Everything, Danforth, before I die. Danforth.
Mr. Nolan. Mr.
Mr. Nolan, I will tell you everything you ask about. Only where shall I begin?
Bless you, dead folk. God bless you. Begin with their names. The stars. Tell me their names. Tell me about her acquisitions, her presidents, her generals. Tell me, boy, I had to be a stranger to her for so long.
Fred, I cannot tell you how wretched I felt as I realized I had been part of the cruelty this sainted old man had endured for over 50 years. I told him everything. I told him about every new state in order as best I could, and he bade me take down his beautiful map and draw them in with my pencil. He was wild through his delight about Texas, and told me how his brother had died there. I told him about Oregon and California. He asked if Burr had ever tried again, and then ground his teeth in anger. But in a moment that was over, and he said, God forgive me, for I am sure I forgive him. I told him of the English War, of Fulton and the steamboat. I told him about old Scott and Jackson, and that Grant was now in command of his old legion of the West. I tell you, Ingham, it was a hard thing to condense the history of half a century into that talk with a sick man. But he drank it in and enjoyed it as I cannot tell you. And at last, he grew tired.
Thank you, Danforth. Thank you. And now I must sleep. Hand me my Bible. I like to hold it when I pray. Gracious God, most heartily we do beseech thee to behold and bless with thy favor President of the United States and all others in authority. In Jesus' name, amen. I have prayed that prayer night and morning for the past 55 years. And now I must sleep. Look in my Bible. My Bible, Danforth. I am gone.
They desire a country, even a heavenly. Wherefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he hath prepared for them a city.
Bury me in the sea. It has been my home, and I love it. But will not someone set up for my memory a stone at Fort Adams or Orleans, that my disgrace may not be more than I ought to bear? Say on it, in memory of Philip Nolan,